Hi friends, and welcome to Starry Hilder's homestead. And yes, these are our meat birds. They're kind of scattered just about everywhere. There's a couple over there, and oh, these birds have such a good life. And there's actually, we have a rooster now, and he's got his little harem here. And you know, our meat birds, as you can tell, they roam all over our homestead. They forage. They're very healthy. They run around. They got a good life. They have a very good life. Which brings me to a very pressing question that has been coming up lately because we're getting really close to processing our meat birds. And it's a very legitimate question that many of you, not like all of you, but there are some that have been asking. And I really wanted to just take a moment and address it so you can hear it from the horse's mouth and you really get where we are coming from on our self-sustainable homestead off the grid here in the mountains. So you all know that Starry Hilder is quite the mother hen. It doesn't make any difference if it's, my chickens over there, even Mr. Rooster, mean old Mr. Rooster. I love all animals. I love my dogs. I love my little wood pile cat. I love my meat birds. And even Mr. Rooster, who is mean and nasty and chases me out of the pen a lot, and I don't appreciate it, I understand he is doing his job. He's serving a purpose here on our homestead, and that is to protect those hens. So I tolerate that. I really do. Many people have told me, just put him in the pot. You can get another rooster. Put him in the pot. I don't see taking Mr. Rooster's life and putting him in the pot as being productive or solving any problem because he's just doing what roosters do. And I can work around that. Absolutely. And that's where the question has come up lately because Mother Hen, loving her birds, won't even put Mr. Rooster in the pot. But how can I process these really cute, look at these meat birds when it is that day? How can I actually butcher them and stand it, I guess, or not feel bad? Or, the questions that have come up is, and I get this. This is a legitimate question. Starry, you love your birds. How can you, in the end, then butcher them? Or Starry, don't you feel bad for the birds? Or Starry, I could never do it. I would get too attached to the birds. Aren't you attached to the birds? Good questions. So I'm going to answer those questions because I think you really need to hear it from the horse's mouth instead of me just typing it and you friends at home really not understanding where we are coming from. Number one, let's just start with the processing day, the butchering day. Myself and Mr. Hilder do not enjoy the butchering part at all. We don't look forward to it. It is one of those days where we understand that we must do it, and therefore we do it very efficiently, and we do it very humanely. And you see how me and Mr. Hilder are. We're loving people. So even up until the day that these birds are processed, they are happy. They are healthy, they are enjoying their little bird lives, and even as we carry them to be butchered, they have no clue. They have no clue. And we plan it that way. We work diligently to plan it that way because the dispatching part of it is not fun. It's not fun. Nobody wants to butcher 30 meat birds after they've raised them from chicks. Who finds enjoyment in that? Not too many people. So there really has to be a disconnect. And the disconnect for us actually does come from a couple things. Number one, they are very fast growing birds, and within 6 weeks they're ready to be butchered. Therefore they are bred and they are raised for one purpose and one purpose alone. That is to provide meat for our self-sustainable homestead. So we always keep that in mind. When we purchase these chickens, and they're tiny little, cute little chicks, we know that within 6 weeks, they're going to poof. They're bred to grow fast, and we're going to have to process them. So that actually helps separate that attachment, because they aren't our pets. Even though we're loving and compassionate towards them, and when they're injured, I take care of them, that's how we are. We all should be loving towards any animal, even the ones that we are going to butcher and process. You shouldn't treat any animal any different just because you're raising it for meat, period. And even scripturally, God's word talks about that. So it is really important that when you have farm animals that you treat them kindly. And you see our birds, look at these birds. You think they're not living in Hilton-style conditions? They really are. And the next part of the equation that I like to discuss is it is not something that we look forward to, but we do plan for it, we prepare for it, and we do it, again, efficiently, and we do it quickly and very humanely. That is number one. Now, number two, we refuse to go to the supermarket and buy meat, buy a pork chop, buy T-bone steak, buy ham, whatever. We refuse when we go out to eat, and we really haven't gone out to eat for a long, long time, which is okay, because I enjoy cooking. But restaurants, we don't buy meat in the restaurants, and there is a reason. The reason is we know that meat in the grocery store, if you saw how those animals are being treated and how they're being raised, these commercialized stockyards are brutal. They're cruel. The conditions are awful. I have seen documentaries on this, and it would turn your stomach. And I think many Americans just turn a blind eye when they go to the grocery store and they stock up on chicken and they stock up on meat. And this is everybody's right to buy and eat whatever you want, but I'm just saying for us personally, no way. No way. Because I see how those meat birds are being raised, and I am telling you, they are not being raised like this. No, they're not. They are laying next to other meat birds' dead bodies. They're laying in their feces. They'd be lucky if they even have water. They get respiratory illnesses because of the close, cramped quarters. It is cruel, and I will tell you, their death is not any nicer. So we refuse, me and Mr. Hilder, to participate in supporting buying meat in a store or a restaurant, period. And I know farmers, there are now small-scale farmers that are now raising farm grass-fed cattle, and they are organic chickens are raised differently. That's great. Supporting that is important. Because it really helps America see that the commercialized slaughterhouses and big farms where they're doing this, we got to get rid of them. We've got good small-time farmers out there and organic farmers who are doing it right and treating animals right. And again, they serve a purpose, and that is to feed people. But it can be done in a humane and respectful manner. And that is really important. That is a message that I really need for people to understand. And that is a number one priority here on our homestead, is that respect and treating animals humanely. So maybe that'll help clarify a little bit of how we can raise these birds from tiny up until adults, and then we can process them. The other thing that we do on our homestead, which is controversial and it's not for everybody, we hunt. I think I have to remind people, and many people already know this, but if you're new to the channel or you're just coming across one of our videos, in order for us to fill our pantry, again, we don't go to the grocery store and buy meat. We depend on the renewable resource that God has provided for us, and that is wild game. That includes fishing, and that includes hunting of big game, elk, a bear, a deer. So that's how we fill our pantry. Now, I will tell you, a lot of people don't like hunting, and it doesn't. And those animals that are being raised in those commercialized farms, their death, when they slaughter them, when they take them to slaughter, it's cruel. It's not like 1, 2, 3, lights out. They know something is going on. And that's where myself and Mr. Hilder, we feel that we are doing, we're serving our animals greatly by providing that wonderful life, look at that, wonderful life. They're happy, and even up until death, we're doing things humanely and with great respect and with great compassion. And for us, that's really important for our homestead. And, here's the other thing. I know a lot of Americans, they're eating the meat that I'm talking about. Not everybody can have meat birds. Not everybody can hunt and fish. I get that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not criticizing the people who are going to the grocery stores and they continue to buy the chicken and the meat and unknowing to them, they're supporting these commercialized farms. What I'm saying is we became aware of it and we made a conscious personal choice to live a sustainable life, controlling the meat on our homestead. So that's how we do it. So maybe that'll help you friends understand where we're coming from a little bit better. And the other thing real quickly, hunting and fishing. Again, not everybody supports hunting and understands hunting. I know when they come every now and then to my YouTube channel, there will be people to be horrified at the deer heads on the wall or all the hides. Mr. Hilder, eating a bear or eating a mountain lion. And we were, this is the thing. We both respect everybody's right to believe whatever they want. I think sometimes people have the misconception that hunting is, you go out there with a gun and boom, you're just slaughtering these animals. They're just walking right in front of your line of sight. And number one, hunting and fishing is highly regulated by the Department of Natural Resources. So there's that. People are not out here poaching. They are not out here wasting meat and killing fawns and killing sows and leaving babies motherless. It's not happening. There's a season for everything. You have to have a tag for everything. The Department of Natural Resources, the game wardens, take this very, very seriously. Number two, hunting is hard work. The game just doesn't come to you. No, they actually have an advantage. They have an advantage. Go in the woods and go for a walk and try to sneak up on a deer. It ain't happening. They're going to run away. And it doesn't make any difference if you have a bow or a high-powered rifle. That deer runs away. Try to shoot him with a high-powered rifle. Yeah, good luck. So myself and Mr. Hilder, we spend an enormous amount of time scouting. We're on Google Earth. Mr. Hilder's on Google Earth. Preparation is the key. Learning the animal's pattern, where they're at, and then having the right equipment. So it is really like a chess game when we go out there to hunt. So the harvesting of wild game is very, very difficult, and it can be a difficult way to provide food for your family. And some self-sustainable homesteads will supplement by using hunting. But I will tell you, if they do, it's not as easy as it sounds. There is some work involved. And the other thing with our hunting is, as you see, we utilize every part of that animal. Nothing goes to waste. Nothing. From the hide to the horns to the meat. It all gets processed and taken care of. So we have great respect for the animals that we harvest out in the wild too. So, and again, do I feel like, I'm killing Bambi? No, there's a purpose to why I'm out there, and that is to harvest a big game animal or to fish and fill the pantry. So it really is a different philosophy. When you have to feed yourself, these options really make you look at things differently. But again, The respect for the animal is there. The making sure that you are doing things in an efficient, effective manner, and you're humane about it. You're humane about it. Hi guys. One of the reasons, hey, my brothers are home. One of the reasons why we hunt, and we choose that for our self-sustainable homestead, hunting and fishing and meat birds. So, okay. Mr. Hilder's home. He was out running the mountain, but we really wanted to share and answer those questions that have been posed lately because they're legitimate questions, and we really want you again to hear it from our side and our perspective. And we ask that everybody please respect. We all have different philosophies in life, and there are people who are vegans, there's people who are vegetarians, there's people who like hunting, there's people that hate hunting. It's all good. It's all good. We have to learn how to tolerate each other and spread the love, basically, to our fellow man. So, all right. Until then, God bless.